mean, it's big time basketball. That's for sure. Um, for me, I probably my thinking coming here was a little different than some of the other guys. Uh, One, I came because I believed that Archie could get it done. That was probably the number one thing. Um, and then, you come to play at one of the come to work at one of the historic places, in the country in college basketball history. So, but for me, it was working for Archie because I could have actually stayed home and relaxed if I wanted to. I know I wanted to work, but I didn't have to jump at it. But Indiana, I mean, the opportunity to come and work at a place like this is unbelievable. But my whole thing was, I want to work for Archie. I think he can get it done, and why not get it done in one of the best places you possibly can get it done at?
How does Archie most impress you?
Well, I know the Millers for a long time. His dad, his brother, his Uncle Tim, for a very long time. So for me, I just watched him from afar a lot, a little bit. Probably was in more social circles with Sean than I was with Archie. But when you live in Philly, those guys come through town because they play LaSalle, they play St. Joe's, they played actually Temple when they were still in the league. So I would go watch the games if I could. And I knew a couple guys on the staff, so I've always watched him as he evolved as a coach and everything like that. So that played big dividends for me in terms of coming here when he called me. So, but we sort of coach in a little bit the same way. Tough defense. Those type of things, tough-minded. So when watching them, in a way, I say I watched a little bit of myself and how they went about playing. He's had a lot of success. So I knew he would do a good job. I knew he had a great reputation of being a guy who really got after it. Got some good players. I've recruited against him a little bit at Drexel a little bit. So I knew he got things done. He was a hard worker.
You talked about the defense and the tough-minded approach to coaching. Where did that develop in you as a coach?
Me, to go back to my high school coach, probably. So when I was in high school back in the days when, you did things you can't do today. But my high school coach, if you didn't do it the right way, you got, as they would call, punished now. But now my high school coach, and then I worked for two good guys, Frank Mitchell and John Calipari, who that's what it was all about. It was about playing defense, playing with toughness, challenging the guys a little bit. My two guys who I sort of, my two mentors in the profession, that's what their thing. Their both thing was defense and rebounding. So they always talked about defensive rebound, give you a chance to win every night.
You mentioned things were different back then, as you as a high school player. Is it harder as your career has gone along? Have you found it harder to instill that in players?
Not necessarily. I always feel as though, as a coach, if you have good relationships, you can get anything through to them. But you got to have good relationships with them. It's a little different than it was when I was coming up. Of course, I'm old. You know what I mean. So, but once if you have a good relationship with them, you let them know you care. They'll still go through the wall for you. Now, do they ask them a few more questions than they did back in the day? Oh no, without a doubt. But I think as long as you got good relationships with the guys, they believe in you, and you showed them that you believe in them, then you'll be fine.
I think I read that you visited Indiana last year, and if I'm not mistaken, that it really stood out to you just what you saw in being able to watch IU practice. I guess as you're now kind of in it more day to day, what maybe still jumps out from that visit last year about this current roster, this group of guys?
Well, great detail in the practice, good enthusiasm. Since I've been around the guys a little bit, guys really work hard, really like basketball. They're always in the gym. So as a coach, you want to see that. You don't always have to want to grab them and put them in the gym all the time, and only time they show up is when you schedule something. So these guys have done a great job of, I see them shooting around all the time with each other, playing all the time, when you're walking through a little bit. So those guys are always in the gym. So when you have a team, you have players that want to do that, they want to get better. But last year when I came to practice, I thought it was great detail. As detailed in practice I've ever been around. And I went to a lot of practices last year. So, like I said, being around the guys, you see that really great enthusiasm. They really work hard.
Coach, what are some of the lessons, philosophies, wisdom that you bring to the table from having been a collegiate head coach for so long?
Like I've always said, like I said before, I think if you play defense and you rebound the ball, you got to give yourself a chance to win. Got to take care of the ball a little bit. When you're a guard, that's one of the things you preach. Take care of the ball. Like I said, you push the guys. If you got good relationship, you can push them. You can coach them harder than most people think you can coach them. That would probably be my philosophy as a coach. My thing was, hey, push them as hard as you can. I mean, I always just say to them, I love you. I might not love your game all the time, but I love you. If you do that, I think you'll get what you want, what you need to get out of the players. But defense and rebound, I think, always give you an opportunity to win basketball games. And if you can do that and establish that, I think you got a good, fair chance of winning.
Mike, kind of piggybacking on Zach's question, you're a year away from coaching. What did that do for you, just maybe making you a better coach, getting around and seeing the way other guys are doing things?
Well, one of the reasons why I because I had a couple opportunities to work last year, but one, I wanted to take some time off, it gave me a chance to go around, because you don't do that. But when I first got in coaching, you did that a little bit, especially with teams in your area. But as time has gone, necessarily guys don't necessarily want you to be in. I don't know why guys don't want you necessarily to be in their practices unless you're really friendly with them. It gave me a chance to go around, check out some different things. Maybe I did see some things that I would probably do a little differently than I did as a head coach. One of the things that I appreciated was not only did I go to watch, but guys would talk to me afterwards. You know what I mean? Come on in, let's talk some basketball. So you see some things you probably do a little bit differently. Also, too, I would say I felt pretty good is that some of the things I was doing, you saw again. So so I felt pretty good about that. And when we sat down and talked, people asked me as many questions as I asked them. So you went back and forth with the basketball thing. So it was fun. I did not just college, but I did NBA also too. So it was good. It was good. Probably, like I said, I'd probably do some things a little differently, but I also felt for myself selfishly that my foundation that I afforded it, I thought it was pretty good from just talking to the guys that I was talking to. So.
Okay, Stuart and Terry.
Coach, you and Coach Schilling both have had experience working under Coach Kyle Parry. Aside from the defensive mindset that you previously mentioned, how else has he shaped your approach to your coaching career?
I learned a lot from him. We're like best friends, to be honest with you. Chill was only there for a year. You know what I mean? He wasn't there the other time. He wasn't there when we were bad at UMass. He came when the good was really good. But no, our relationship is more than just basketball, to be honest with you. So we talk about everything. So we were young. We were really young, and we talked about a lot of things growing up. Just relationships with our families, with our players, and all those things like that. So for us, it was almost like, you grew up together. You know what I mean? You had a guy, your next door neighbor, y'all were together every day. So y'all experienced a lot of things with each other. So it was more than just basketball. And that's why relationship is the way it is today. So we learned a lot of things. Cal coached you hard, but Cal's a big relationship guy, as y'all saw from the thing last week. So those are the types of things you learn when you were young. I was 23 years old, so when I started working for him, and so it's more than that. But we always play defense. We also believe one of the things that we always talked about was having post presence. We think if you don't have post presence, you're a little bit of a fraud. So we talk about that all the time. Those types of things like that. So.
Terry.
Back to your year off, was there a point there where you thought, maybe I don't come back to coaching, or did you always think that?
Oh yeah. It was one. I think I took it off to see whether or not I really wanted to continue to do it or do something else. So after about 4 months, I realized I want to go back and coach again. But I will be honest with you, I wasn't in a rush. I wasn't going to just get back in coaching to get back in coaching. And I got lucky because I looked at at Archie and said, okay, I think this would be a guy that can be a good person to work for. He got a bright future. He's already done very well. So I just wasn't going to take a job just to take it. I didn't have to be honest with you. I did a couple TV things, and they actually had talked to me about, being full-time. Look, we'll give you a full schedule within the next year. But I knew after the time off that I really wanted to coach again. But I didn't really have to. I didn't have to just jump at any opportunity to go back and coach. So this was a good opportunity for me, and it was a good person for me to go with.
Coach, how much did you recruit the Midwest? I'm assuming you have a lot of connections out east, but maybe did you recruit the Midwest much?
Not necessarily. If you had an opportunity to be involved with some kids, I've been coaching for a long time, so you meet a lot of people, and you talk to a lot of people. So honestly, the guys that I've talked to in the Midwest all been calling me saying, "See, now you're out here coming out and recruit a couple of my guys." But just having a relationship with guys because I did it for a long time. And they've sort of like, all right, come on out. I tried to get you to come out before. You're an East Coast guy, so now I might have a couple guys for you here and there, and you're at Indiana, so that's the other thing also too. So, but I just think recruiting is getting to know people, and like I said, I've been around for a little minute now, so. It's just an opportunity, just now I'm out here, and like I said, the guys that I've known for years, are like come on out. But if I had the opportunity to recruit kids, we recruit Ohio a little bit, Chicago, even when I was at Drexel, when I was at UMass. So I've been around with some of those guys. We just never really got them to come there, got them to go to the schools, but we recruited their kids. So.
You said you mentioned that, or you said you knew like after 4 months or so you knew you wanted to get back in. Was there a moment or was there something that happened where you all of a sudden you realized that you wanted to do it again?
Well, when you're in the house for like 3 days because it's snowing out, right? And you got nothing to do, right? And you're watching TV all day, so then you realize, okay, you got to figure out what you want to do. And John Chaney always told me this because I used to tease him about, oh man, I ain't gonna be 80 years old coaching and doing all this stuff like that. And he said this to me, it's really true, and I really found that out this year. He says one of the reasons why guys coach for so long is the kids give you energy. He says being around the kids, they keep you going a little bit. He said you'd be surprised. And last year I missed that. I missed being around the interaction with the players and the kids and just being on a college campus all the time and being around, the young people. So I missed that a little bit. And he was absolutely positively correct about that. So, and you miss being in the games. So, one thing is about Philadelphia, it's very unique in that you got the 6 Division I schools. Everybody comes through there. And in the East Coast, you're not that far away from. I went to see Indiana at Maryland last year, so you're not that far away from going to see any conference, any all types of people play. So that's the one advantage about being in the East Coast, and so you miss it. Go to the games, you miss the excitement, you miss that. But in the end, you probably miss more about being around the kids and being the energy that they sort of give you to keep going every day.